A little bit about why I felt that bariatric surgery was the right choice for me. Now, let me preface this by saying I have never had anybody in my life to my face question my decision to have bariatric surgery. Not one single time. Now, when I was going through the research phase and going through the process of deciding to have surgery, I heard horror story after horror story after horror story of people essentially losing their closest friends and family members because they chose to have this surgery. And that scared me. I didn't want to tell anybody. In fact, when I first told my husband that I wanted to have this surgery, I delayed and stuttered so much just trying to get it out because I was so nervous that he actually thought that I wanted to have a sex change. And when I told him what the surgery was, he looked at me and said, "I'm not entirely sure why that's such a big deal." It's because I read article and comment and post after post after post all over all of my social media groups that I'm a part of for bariatrics that were horror stories about people leaving their lives after making this decision. Now, I can tell you what I have learned is if those people left your lives because you made this decision for yourself to be a healthier, happier version of you, they were not your people to begin with. Period. They would have always left you, or they would have always made you feel like shit. Weed those people out. If they leave, good riddance. I know it's going to hurt. And I know it's going to be very hard to lose some major players in your life. But if they leave because you made this decision, then so be it. So for me, when I made this decision, it was really hard. That was one of the hardest things for me to get over, was the thought of losing family or friends because I made this decision for myself. I made this decision because I was headed towards rock bottom. I wouldn't say I was at rock bottom, but I was headed towards rock bottom with how I consumed food and the lack of movement in my day, the lack of exercise ever. I didn't want to do anything. I was lethargic. I was lazy. I overthought everything. I didn't want to get sweaty because if I got sweaty, it meant chafing, and chafing meant pain. And so I did minimal effort, minimal exercise, minimal movement. It affected me going on vacation. I would spend weeks trying to figure out what I was going to pack for vacation and stuff everything into a giant suitcase, because when you are 242 pounds, your clothes are a lot bigger than when you are 130 pounds. So my suitcase would be packed. And I would go through my head mentally, okay, do I have the anti-chafing roll-on for my inner thighs? Do I have the bandelettes, or do I have the shorts, or do I have the pants that will cover in addition to the chafing cream for my thighs? I have had vacations where I have chafed. So those thoughts went through my head when I was trying to make this decision to have bariatric surgery. I also listed out every single diet that I have ever tried and failed. And I listed out how many times I tried those diets. So for instance, I have tried Weight Watchers. I have tried keto. I have tried Atkins. I have tried South Beach. I've tried low carb, low fat, low sugar, fasting, counting calories, counting macros, HCG, where you put those drops on your tongue and you can't wear lotion because the lotion is oil and I don't even know the science behind it. I was just a blind follower. Sure, I lost 25 pounds in a month, but then I gained 30 pounds as soon as I was off of it because I was starved. I wanted food. I was missing food. I am a big food person. So I listed pros and cons of having surgery. I listed all the things I've tried before because I needed to justify to myself that I am making the right decision for myself, because I know after doing hours and hours and hours of research that having bariatric surgery, no matter which one you choose is right for you, having the surgery is just a tool. That's it. It is just a tool, just like the diet plan is a tool, just like a frying pan is a tool when you're cooking dinner, just like your vehicle is a tool to get you from place to place. Your bariatric surgery is a tool. That is it. Everything else is up to you. It is a jumpstart. It is a platform to get you started in the right direction. And that's all it does. Eventually, the tool will have its limits. It will stop being everything. This tool has been a life changer for so many. It has also been one of those things where it worked really well for the first year, and then people neglected to use it the way it's supposed to be used, which is a tool. You have to guide the tool. The tool is in your hands. The tool isn't automated. It doesn't do it for you. You have to work the tool to make sure that you are successful. So you have to get your head right. You have to be mentally prepared to do this changing lifestyle. It literally changes your world. Everything changes. The way you eat out, the way you go grocery shopping, the way you fuel your body, the way you move, the way you think about food, the way you process food. All of those things change. All the things that you obsess about now with your food will be completely different. It'll be a completely different obsession. I still am very much in love with food. I eat 8 or 9 times a day, small meals. I live on protein bars. I eat them constantly. I have 2 in my car right now. I always eat protein bars. I probably have at least 2 a day. And I have just changed how I think about food and fuel a lot. Yes, I still enjoy food. That is something that will never go away. I still enjoy looking forward to a great meal. I still enjoy cake and ice cream and those kinds of things. But what I do is I enjoy them in a portion size that makes sense. I don't have a slab of cake. I do not have a medium or a large blizzard anymore. I go and get a mini. Right? I have a bite of cake, maybe 2 bites of cake, because that is all I can fit into my stomach. My tool is working for me as long as I am fueling with other things besides junk. You can't fuel with junk and just rely on negative calories. You have to fuel your body so your body's healthy also. So when I eat the junk food, which I completely adore and love, I do it once a month instead of twice a week. So I'm changing how I eat and how I fuel. So that was part of the process of me deciding to have bariatric surgery, was I am going to be changing how I fuel my body. I'm going to be changing how I eat. I'm going to be changing how I do everything in my home. Everything has changed. How I cook my meals, like I said, how I go grocery shopping. And those are the types of things that I needed to realize before going into surgery. It's not something I learned afterwards. It is very much something that I had to mentally prepare for in order to have this surgery. Now, part of the approval process for surgery is going to a psychologist, and you have to be cleared. So they tell your surgeon and your insurance company that, yes, this person is mentally prepared to have the surgery. Could you trick somebody into believing that you're mentally prepared? Yes. Absolutely 100%. It is not that hard. They want to know, A, that you know what you're getting into, and they want to know that you are mentally capable of proceeding with the surgery. That's all they care about. They care about that you won't necessarily have a transfer addiction. That's where you transfer your food addiction to another addiction, like alcohol, shopping, gambling, those kinds of things. One negative addiction to another. They want to make sure that you're not going to do that. They want to make sure that you fully comprehend what the surgery entails. That is all that the psych test will tell your surgeon and your insurance company. It's just a box that is checked. Once that box is checked and you are cleared, it is all up to you. So, are you mentally prepared? Was I mentally prepared for this surgery? Those are things that I had to dig deep internally to figure out. So the things that I had to consider was, am I going to lose my closest family and friends? I was scared out of my mind that I was going to. Was I mentally prepared? Could I completely change my lifestyle in order to be a healthier version of me? You know what made that decision easy was the thought that I spent 38 years eating whatever the hell I wanted to and enjoyed it. I can spend the next half, 2/3 of my life truly being a healthier, happier, leaner version of me. One that looks forward to going on vacation because I don't have to stress about what I'm going to pack. A life where I get out and do movements so that when my grandkids come around, I can get down on the floor with them and hang out. That's the kind of future I see for myself. Not one where I'm gorging food and then feeling bad afterwards and never getting my ass off the couch. That wasn't for me. I was done with that life. That is where the mental piece came in for me. That's where my click came. That's where my realization came in. I go on vacation and my kids ask me to go and do things with them, be active with them. And I always say, no, I'm going to take a nap or I'm going to hang out here or whatever, right? And that's not right. I want them to have memories of me getting up and doing things with them and actively participating in life is my major goal. Actively participating in life is my goal, and I am achieving that now. So when I made a decision to have bariatric surgery, it is more than a diet for me. In fact, I don't even believe in that word anymore. I hate that word. To me, when you say diet, it's synonymous with failure. Because every diet I've ever done, I have failed hard. Now, that doesn't mean that dieting is evil. It doesn't mean that you can't be successful while dieting. And if that's right for you, then great. I had to get my mental peace in line before I could be successful. Could I have done that and dieted? No, because I like to eat food. I don't want to be restricted by what I can and cannot eat in my life. That is not what I want. What I wanted and what I needed and what I still need is that tool to tell me, okay, you've eaten enough. I need that tool to tell me, focus on protein because all the other things that you are providing to me right now simply do not fit. I need the tool to tell me that when you are full, you need to stop eating. That's what the tool is doing for me. Every single meal, I start with the protein on my plate first. And then I move on to the veggie and the fruit. And if there's still room, which there's probably not, but if there is, I may then go into a grain or a carb. But always protein first. Always, always, always. And I take my vitamins. I drink my superfood shake. That's where I get a lot of my my vitamins and my minerals and all of those extra things that for me I simply can't get while I'm eating, right? And so for me, the decision was easy. When I first discovered that I was big enough to have bariatric surgery, I was floored. It scared me. I didn't think that somebody who was 5'4" and 242 pounds would qualify for a surgery like this. I thought that bariatric surgery was for people who had 200, 300, 400 pounds to lose. It was something you got when you simply could not move anymore. You couldn't get out of bed anymore. You were using the assistance of a walker or a wheelchair. I never knew that bariatric surgery was an option for me, a person who was, for lack of better terms, a healthy fat. I had no comorbidities. I had to qualify for my surgery based on BMI alone. Now, BMI and the BMI chart and whether or not I believe in it, that's for a whole nother video. I could make a very long video about that, but that is one of the parameters that they judge you on when you apply to have this surgery. So I had to have a 40 BMI or higher, or less than a 40 BMI with a comorbidity, which I didn't have. So I qualified on BMI alone, but I was healthy. I didn't have a heart problem. I didn't have high cholesterol, high blood pressure. I didn't have sleep apnea. I didn't have anything. I was just fluffy. I really enjoyed food, but I hated my life. I hated that I wasn't moving. I hated that I wasn't participating. And that was my biggest goal. Participate in my life actively. Become fit, not skinny, to actively participate in my life. That was my number one goal, period. I didn't care about the loose and saggy skin. I didn't care about the empty boob sacks that I'm now carrying around. I don't care about any of that. I care about actively participating in my life. So when I went to do the research to have bariatric surgery, and I looked at people before and after, I focused my energy on those people who truly used the tool to change their lives. Those people who took it seriously. Those people who, after they've lost their weight or while they're losing their weight, started adding activity into their lives, started adding more activity into their lives. And the activity that they've been adding, they've been enjoying. It's not some sort of torture device. It is something that they have enjoyed. And that is what I have modeled my entire journey around, is utilizing the tool to its fullest potential, adding in more activity, and changing how I fuel my body. So I made the decision to have bariatric surgery in January of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. I had my surgery on June 24th of 2020. And as of right now, I am just over 1 year post-op. I am sitting comfortably at about 130 pounds. I go between 130 and 136. I fluctuate here and there depending on the day, but I am comfortable in my own skin. My thighs no longer rub. I am strong. I work out because I enjoy it. I am physically fit, and I am loving it. I am actively participating in life. When people ask me to go out and do things, I no longer stress about, okay, it's August, it's going to be hot, I'm going to be sweaty, I'm going to need X, Y, and Z so I don't chafe. I'm going to need X, Y, and Z so that I can change later. I don't stress about that. I just say, yep, let's do it. Let's go. And that has been one of the best parts about losing this weight. I can't say that there has been a huge health change for me as far as going to the doctor and having blood work done, other than BMI, which I said we can have a whole nother video on that. But I am fit and I am actively participating, and my head is finally in the right space. I am learning to love my body. I am getting over my body dysmorphia. So having surgery was a game changer. I made the decision because I was almost at rock bottom and I didn't know what else to do. I was at the point where I was ready to give up. I was ready to say, okay, wear the muumuus and the big dresses and the biker shorts because that's what I'm going to live in the rest of my life. That's where I was at. I made the decision to have bariatric surgery with the help of many experts and many people just like you who have gone through the process and guided me along the way. I put a lot of thanks into those people who went before me and were successful and truly used the tool to its fullest potential. For me, that was a great guiding light, and I strive to do that for you. I strive to be an example of how the tool can work and how you can change your outlook on life and how you can change your lifestyle to be a healthier, leaner, more fit version of you. Now, I do not necessarily believe that you have to be fit and healthy to be happy. But for me, this was the truth. And for me, I am thankful that I'm here finally, after so many years of trying and failing. I am so grateful that I gave myself one more chance, because obviously that one more chance is all I needed. So at this point, it's maintenance. Maintain what I have achieved. So if you're thinking about having bariatric surgery, do your research, but don't be afraid. This decision is ultimately your decision and your decision alone. The only reason why you need outside opinions is to qualify for insurance or to qualify at your surgery center. That's it. Now, it's nice to ask other people what their opinion is, but I guarantee you that anybody in your friend circle, unless they've actually had the surgery, have not done as much research as you, which means that they are ill-informed to give you an opinion. They do not know. All they can do is help and support you when you need help and support. That's their role right now. So, is bariatric surgery right for you? I don't know. That's a decision you're going to have to make yourself. But I hope these videos help guide you into the direction that you're ultimately going for. Whether or not you have the surgery, I hope that you go on to be healthy, happy, and fit.